Hello, my diamonds, my TikTokers, and my Teletubbies. It's SheilaTruelove, and I'm back with part 3 of Jehovah's Witnesses. And this explains why so many of them struggle with mental illness, especially when it comes to depression, anxiety, misery, pain, misery, suffering. They just can't seem to let go of the past. I just had a steak sandwich, a steak meal actually, and it was delicious. Anyway, let me share some clips with you so that we can all realize that you're being gaslighted when they sit here and say that they don't destroy families, and when they sit here and say that they are the only channel that God works through. Are you kidding me? Child, please.
I have another Jehovah's Witness story for you. So most of you knew that I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. I was walking through the airport and saw someone that I used to know, like one of my closest sisters. And when I saw her, my heart like lit up because of how much I love her. And I go up to her and I go, "Hi." And I like put my hand on her arm, and she completely ignores me as if I was invisible, and just like turns and like doesn't face towards me. And that's what happens when you leave being a Jehovah's Witness. All your friends and your family completely act like you don't exist. They are told to completely shun you. And although it did really hurt, like initially, like my heart was like, whoa. I've already integrated so much of this experience, and where I've landed is that I choose love. And even if someone shows me something other than love, I never want that to change who I am and how I feel and how I respond and how I love. And honestly, I respect people's boundaries and their beliefs. Just like I have mine, my boundaries and beliefs, and I protect that because it's very sacred to me. So I respect others' decisions too. I have another Jehovah's Witness story for you.
So it's true. It's very important for us to respect other people's boundaries and their beliefs. And like I said, you will never hear me talk badly about Jehovah God or Jesus Christ. I'm speaking about this organization because that's what we are commissioned to do when it comes to exposing false prophets and false teachers. So then they asked me, well, you have a lot of the churches that are doing false teaching also. Why aren't you on their case? I'm not on their case because they're not destroying families. They're not going around killing people with their misinterpretation of things. They don't have a two-witness rule where if your child is being raped, you don't go to the authorities first. You take it to the elders, and then they take it to their legal department, and then they determine whether or not you should go to the authorities, even though they're not trained in this profession. They're not trained like that. But yeah, and then the rejecting of Jesus Christ's sacrifice, the emblems. Other organizations or religions are not doing that. And when it comes to Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't even promote higher education. And let me show you an instance when I'm speaking about them being false prophets. Now, I'm going to share something with you that came not from apostates. They call you apostate. No, I'm not an apostate, sweetheart. I'm still a Christian. An apostate is someone who have left their religious belief. My religious belief is Christian. But they don't get that part too. You know how it is already. They make up their own rules as they go along. But let me share this with you when it comes to higher education. They tried to get me on that one, but I wasn't going to let that happen. That wasn't going to happen. Now, this is something that came out of their Awake magazine, May 22nd, page 15, and this was in 1969. Okay? It says here, if you are a young person, you also need to face the fact that you will never grow old in this present system of things. Why not? Because all the evidence in fulfillment of Bible prophecy indicates that this corrupt system is due to end in a few years. Now, we know a couple is 2, a few is 3. Now, this was back in 1969, and this is in their literature. Keep that in mind. It says, of the generation that observed the beginning of the last days in 1914, Jesus foretold This generation will by no means pass away until all things occur. And then they use the scripture Matthew 24:34. And they say, therefore, as a young person, you will never fulfill any career that this system offers. It says here, if you are in high school and thinking about a college education, it means at least 4 years, perhaps even 6 or 8 more years to graduate into a specialized career. But where will this system of things be by that time? It will be well on the way towards its finish, if not actually gone. Don't take my word for it. Go into the archives of your Jehovah's Witnesses and get the old literature and look up the Awake magazine, their literature, 1969, May 22nd, and look at page 15. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to false prophets. And they do not encourage higher education. Yeah, I was looking for this other video that I wanted to share with you, but I couldn't find it at this time. But when I find it, I will definitely put it up where they have one of the governing body giving their experience in terms of they had a scholarship and they turned down the scholarship because they wanted to be out there recruiting out in the ministry. And yeah, that was an excellent video. But I want to share something else with you, how this young lady, because she chose not to be a part of an organization, she doesn't have anything against Jehovah, nothing against Jesus Christ, but she is going to share her experience.
My name is
This is especially important to me. Let me tell you why. For people who keep trying to gaslight me, telling me that they do not destroy families, when in fact that's all they do. That's what they're good at.
My name is Mackenzie. I'm a mother of 3 young children, and I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness. My parents, sibling, and almost all of my extended family are Jehovah's Witnesses. Since the moment I told them 2 years ago that I no longer believed in their religion, my family has been shunning me. And see, the thing about it is that even by...
Who did she say is shunning her? Friends? I don't know, acquaintances? No, my family has been shunning me. How the hell do you sit up here and pick an organization, some man-made organization, something that is being proven each and every day that it's nothing but a cult, and you're going to throw away your own family, especially you throw away your own mother, for some man-made nonsense? This is ridiculous. I see why they're banned in over 40 countries. I think it's 44 or 46 by now. And they are doing nothing but bringing nothing but mad, crazy reproach, disrespect on Jehovah's name. How dare you carry his name and you are seen as something that's inhumane and extremist.
their standards, I don't live an immoral life. The only thing keeping everyone I once knew and loved from ever speaking to me again is that I no longer believe in their religion. My mom reached...
You notice she said, I don't live an immoral life. I don't have no immoral life. I'm not doing anything against the scriptures. She just don't believe in what they're teaching. I mean, after all, who can? What they claim is the truth this year, will it be the truth next year? You know, with their new light nonsense. Let me start it again.
The only thing keeping everyone I once knew and loved from ever speaking to me again is that I no longer believe in their religion. My mom reaches out and asks to see her grandkids, and my dad never speaks to me at all. It's important to me that I don't take away choices from my children that they're entitled to make. Their grandparents are not bad people, they are just severely brainwashed. One day when my kids realize the severity and gravity of shunning, they may choose whether they want to still have a relationship with their...
And you notice how she doesn't hold a grudge. She's not mean. She's not hateful. She said the only thing that they're guilty of is they're brainwashed. They're beyond brainwashed. They're indoctrinated. That's why they use all of those, their literature. They don't just stick to the Bible. Why can't we just use the Bible going forward? Just going forward, let's just use the Bible. Oh, no. You got to have that literature, baby, because that's where the brainwashing, the indoctrinate, and then you think about, they always want you to study. They always have these lesson plans for you to study this, study that. No, why do I have to study your books? Can I just do my own research? Why can't I go on the internet and deal with Bible scholars and deal with historians and archaeologists? Why can't I do my own research? Why is that a problem? No, we have to answer questions based on the paragraphs that you have us answer. That's where the indoctrination comes. Mind control. They don't want you to have critical thinking.
Grandparents or not. But for now, I'll walk my kids to the doorway of the home I grew up in, the place I felt I was safe and unconditionally loved as a child. I'll smile and wave and tell them to have fun. Then I turn and walk away from my childhood home, feeling the weight of knowing that I will never be allowed entry into that place again, and that I will never feel the safety and love of my parents again. I was honest with my children when they asked me why I could no longer go to Mimi and Papa's house. I told them I won't be allowed to spend time with my family anymore, because they are Jehovah's Witnesses and I am no longer one. They understand as much as a young child can. But before they went to play at their grandparents' today, my daughter asked me if I would be sad being home alone while they were gone. I lied to her and told her I was excited to have some alone time. They don't need to know how devastated I am that I can't be a part of the family time. My children are always my priority in life. I want them to know by my actions that I always put their feelings first and never took any of their choices away from them. But the intense pain that comes from shunning and ostracism from people who once claimed to love you unconditionally, it hurts the most in these moments. My children will never, for any reason, have to cope with the loss of their parents' love. I'm not as lucky as they are. All children should have their parents' unconditional love. The Jehovah's Witness organization breaks apart families and destroys lives.
Okay, I can't say this any clearer. These are people telling their live testimonies, and it's happening all over the world. That's what they do. They destroy families. They destroy lives. And the sad thing is, when they do things and they have this new light, they never apologize for anything. That's why it's a very narcissistic organization. You come in, they love bomb you. You know how narcissism works. I think we're pretty much educated in terms of that. Everything is one-sided. Everything is their way. Go to their kingdom hall, but they won't go to your church. Read their literature, but I have something I want to share with you. Yeah, like my book, Best Information. My daughter, my family didn't even support me on this. My son, he was pretty cool, but he hasn't even finished reading it. Answers that work, and every single thing in this book, Jehovah is proud of me, Jesus is proud of me. I know my mom, she's clapping her hand. Everything in this book, if you notice, it has scriptures at the end parts to back up everything I say. It's always scriptures. Everything I say, it's always scriptures to back up everything I say. And they couldn't even be happy for me when I accomplished, I set a goal, and what have you. Let me study with them. You want me to read your books? I want you to read this one. This is an awesome book. This is what I always taught Bible studies with, my new Bible studies. Okay? They don't want to have no part of that. And then I have this is another great book right here. You can pause it. This is The Bible in 52 Weeks. And the reason why I like these books is because it forces you. It encourages you to do your own research. It don't have like the question here, and then you got to read their paragraph, and you got to answer it according to their stuff. No. You have to do your own research, sweetheart. That's right. 30 quick Bible studies that will change your life for the better. This is a wonderful book that I enjoy reading when I'm having Bible studies with my students, or we just simply read the Bible. We read a chapter out of the Bible. You read 5 paragraphs and use whatever translation you choose to use. You know, that's my Bible study group. And then we discuss, what did you appreciate from this chapter, and how do you think you can apply this in your life? It's just a wonderful way of living. Let me share some more experiences with you.
Picture this: you wake up one day and you realize that you're actually in a cult. If you're a Jehovah's Witness, this is extremely isolated because you are not allowed to question any of your beliefs. Certainly not out loud. So immediately you start to begin to feel really alienated and extremely lonely. You can't talk about it with friends that you've had all your life because they're also in the Jehovah's Witness community. If you do happen to voice any opinion or question anything about the policies, they will immediately have alarm bells ringing. Your friends will begin to pull away from you and start to cool the friendship. You begin to feel even more isolated. And the other thing is, you can't mention it to your family because just like your friends, they will start to panic if they believe that you are starting to have doubts. And here's the other thing: you won't reach out to anybody outside the religion because you're still of the belief that anybody outside is dangerous, and so you won't trust them either. At a time where you're so confused and your mind is spiraling, there is no one that you can turn to, and this is so lonely. And if you choose to keep voicing...
And this definitely explains why you have so many Jehovah's Witnesses who suffer from so much depression, and they turn to alcohol because they're so overwhelmed.
Your concerns, you will get disciplined by the religion. Your friends will cast you away. Your family will panic and begin to micromanage all your steps and everything you look at, including controlling what information you have access to. They will refer you to the elders because you are spiritually sick and need help. And if you do continue to have your doubts and confusions, they will eventually discipline you and most likely end up shunning you, or at least isolating entirely from you, because they're going to view you as being influenced by Satan and dangerous. So many survivors tell me and others that this is...
So when it comes to people saying, why don't you just respect other people's belief? Why don't you respect other people's belief? How are you going to sit up here and demonize somebody and say that they're demonized or they're apostates, and you speak so badly, especially in their daily texts and in their literature? They're always not trying, they outright disrespect people for having different beliefs, because we have the truth, because Jehovah God pulled us out of the darkness and to his son Jesus Christ, when Jesus said, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. God hasn't pulled them, a lot of them, to his son because he loves his son Jesus Christ. He's not going to pull some evil or wicked person to his son. They need to have a change of heart. They need to pray severely, fervently, for God to give them a change of heart, because this world has hardened their hearts so badly until they don't want to have nothing to do with the truth. I don't want no truth. I can't handle no truth. Leave me alone. Stay away from me with truth.
Such a lonely journey, and at a time when you're so confused and spiraling and need this support, it feels like there is nobody there to give you support. But there is, if you give yourself the opportunity to trust those who have walked before you and done this before you, those who have left before you, and reach out to them, of which there are thousands online. You'll be able to find out that you're not alone and that you can do this journey. You'll be able to manage. Picture this: you wake up one day and you realize that you're actually in a cult. If you're a Jehovah's Witness, this is
small business tip.
Picture this.
All right, this is my hot take on the Jehovah's Witnesses and their
recent updates. I don't know, what is this, number 6, number 7? They're just changing everything. They must be losing a lot of people to be like, all right, fine. But in fact,
that's why they're changing their teachers, because they're losing a lot of people. They used to be 8 million. They'll be fortunate or lucky if they have 4 million left, because people are waking up and they are leaving this organization in droves, thousands at a time, honey. That's why they're starting to say, okay, we got a new light. You can have beards now. Women, you can wear pants now. Okay, you could do fractions of the blood. I know we said you can't be no part of the military, but now you could do alternative services. Okay, we're going to change up. They're changing so much because they're losing. People are leaving in droves, and because they're losing that tax exemption benefit that they have. It's about money. You know how that goes. New light. Yeah, sure it is.
what it makes me think of? It makes me think of this very abusive ex-boyfriend that I had for a short period of time. And I remember, like, when we were breaking up, I'm like, dude, you, like, have an issue with me wearing rompers because you think they look too good. You have an issue with me eating anything that is fruity flavored because you don't want to taste that when you kiss me. I can't have business professional meetings with men because you want to know, like, what the background is, if we ever liked each other, blah, blah, blah. So all this stuff, right? Well, when I was like, I'm not doing this. This is not worth it. And we broke up. He was like, you can wear the rompers. You can eat the flavored candy.
You see how he was willing to change up because he saw that she was going to leave him? That's similar to the Jehovah's Witnesses. Now they're changing up their teachings. Oh no, when you could talk to people who are disfellowship, if they're at the Kingdom Hall, of course they're in the cult. If they come to the hall, then you can now talk to them. What? When did you change that up? You know why you changed that up? Because you're being sued in court and everybody is winning the case. Because you're being sued for being inhumane, extremists. People are now taking this to the courts and they're losing. So now all of a sudden, they don't call it disfellowship. It's called removal. Or they changed the name from disfellowshipping. Yeah, baby. Because the legal system is kicking their behind.
Flavored candy. You can have the business meetings. That's what I feel like the Jehovah's Witnesses are doing. They're like, oh my gosh, so many people are leaving. You guys, like, y'all can have beards. Ladies, we'll let you wear pants. And y'all are freaking out over not being able to talk with your loved ones because they're disfellowship, so fine. You can talk with them. Only about spiritual things, nothing else, but if you would like to send them the memorial invite, we will now allow you to do that. Just kidding. Jehovah has told us that you are now allowed to do that. Because look, I am all about the disfellowshipping arrangement changing in any way, shape, or form. I think that progress should be applauded, but this is not that progress. No. In fact, I had a back and forth with my aunt who is very into being a witness, and she sent me a text message at 4:47 a.m. and the text message had a link to the memorial, and it said in the most robotic, copy-pasted, sterile, stripped of every human emotion, it was like, you were invited to attend the memorial on this day at this address. This is the talk that will be given on this Sunday at this day at this address. We hope you and your family can make it. And when I woke up, I was like, is this my aunt or is this a robot? Are the Jehovah's Witnesses sending automated text now? What is happening? And I just kind of marinated on it, thinking about it. And about 9 a.m. that morning, I got another text from my aunt. And it said, hey, just wanted to let you know, if you're wondering why I spoke to you, it's because there has been new light. You can see this video, and she sends the link, if you'd like to.
New light. Now you can speak to me. You know how many people have died not speaking to their family members? How many people don't even know what's going on with their family members? And you want to sit here and try to gaslight me and tell me that they don't destroy families. Sweetheart, like I said, that's all they do. Go ahead, girl.
Know more about it. And if you're wondering why the guy in the video has a beard, you can check out this video, 2024 update number whatever, to find out why that is. And number one, I already know I have a TikTok that literally talks about the updates that y'all come out with and the bullshittiness that it is, okay? Thank you, but...
And we have a lot of PIMOs who are keeping us abreast and keeping us, you know, PIMO, P-I-M-O, physically in, mentally out. They're only there because they're trapped. They don't have the guts or the courage to leave because they have family members who are there. Their social network is there. They don't know where else to turn because their faith is not strong. But actually, they don't have no faith at all that Jehovah God and Jesus Christ will get you through this.
I already know. And to be quite frank, I really wanted to respond to that message. Actually, I did. I wrote this out. I deleted it. I did not send it because it was the lower, less evolved part of my brain, the like cave woman part. But what I first typed out was hashtag most sterile invite ever. And then it was like, I don't know, it was pretty sassy. I got that out, deleted it, started writing a new one, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the space that I came from because it was out of love, and I think that that's important. Oh yeah, I dyed my hair purple, all of it. That's been fun. Because I do believe it's important to come from a place of love. And so I wrote her something.
Yep, it's almost 30 minutes here. But she's correct. We have another one here that I wanted to share. Anyway, just go on my TikTok, SheilaTruelove, and I have uploaded several people's experiences when it comes to this Jehovah's Witness organization and how they woke up, how they realized that they are trapped in a cult. Anytime you want to leave something and they want to punish you for it. Hello, can we talk? Joan Rivers, can we talk? Anyway, there you have it. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle.